Welcome back to another episode of Olympus Unhinged. Today, we're diving into one of the most embarrassing moments in Zeus's immortal life, a time when the king of the gods himself was overthrown by his own family and left tied up like an immortal paperweight. Now, Zeus is usually the one throwing lightning bolts, barking orders, and turning into random animals to get what he wants. But on this fateful day, the other gods decided they were done with his nonsense, and they did something no one thought possible. They tied him up and took over Olympus. Imagine Olympus as a huge family business, but instead of nice holiday bonuses and casual Fridays, there's constant yelling, spontaneous thunderstorms, and the occasional transformation into a goose. And at the head of it all, Zeus. Now, Zeus wasn't just the boss, he was the worst boss. He had zero patience, an ego bigger than the entire universe, and absolutely no chill. He made rules whenever he felt like it, changed them even faster, and if anyone dared to question him, boom! Lightning bolt to the face. For centuries, the other gods put up with it. They grumbled, they rolled their eyes, but they kept the peace. Until one day, they snapped. And leading the rebellion, Hera. Hera had so many reasons to be done with Zeus. First, she was his wife. Technically his sister too, but let's not get into that. And second, she was constantly cleaning up his messes. Every time Zeus turned into a swan, a bull, or some weird cosmic mist to chase after some mortal girl, guess who had to deal with the drama? That's right, Hera. Every time Zeus made a terrible decision and threw a stormy tantrum instead of solving an actual problem, who had to step in and fix it? Hera. And every time Zeus got bored and decided to start another war between mortals for his own amusement, who had to pretend this was totally normal? Hera. So one day she decided enough was enough. She called a secret meeting with the other Olympians who were also fed up with Zeus's terrible leadership. In attendance were Poseidon, Zeus's brother, god of the sea, and king of middle child syndrome. Athena, goddess of wisdom, battle strategy, and the only one with a brain. Apollo, god of the sun, music, and probably the one making sarcastic comments the whole time. Hephaestus, god of fire and blacksmithing, Hera's son, and Zeus's biggest disappointment. And a few minor gods who mostly came for the snacks and the drama. Hera, channeling all her frustration, laid out the plan.
Step 1. Sneak into Zeus's room while he's asleep. Step 2. Tie him up. Step 3. Steal his lightning bolts. Step 4. Run Olympus like a normal, functional kingdom.
It was bold. It was risky. It was absolutely hilarious. And that night they went for it. Zeus, exhausted from probably yelling at mortals all day, was snoring away on his ridiculously oversized golden bed. Hera gave the signal, and the gods crept into his room like a bunch of mischievous kids sneaking past bedtime. Poseidon held down Zeus's arms. Athena secured the chains with perfect escape-proof knots. Hephaestus reinforced them with divine metal, because let's face it, regular rope wasn't going to cut it. And Apollo mostly made jokes and supervised. Then, for extra safety, they stole his lightning bolts. The next morning, Zeus woke up. For the first time in his entire immortal existence, Zeus went to sit up and couldn't move. He blinked, looked down, and saw the thick, unbreakable chains wrapped around his arms and legs. That's when it hit him. He had been tied up by his own family.
"What is this?"
Zeus angrily yelled, shaking the entire mountain. Hera stepped forward, cool as ever, arms crossed.
Oh good, you're awake. We had a little meeting, and we decided you're fired.
Poseidon smirked.
Yeah, bro. You're kind of the worst.
Apollo plucked a string on his lyre.
This is honestly the funniest thing I've ever seen.
Zeus thrashed, yelled, tried to summon a storm, but nothing happened. No lightning bolts, no thunder, just an angry, tied-up king. The other gods watched. For the first time in forever, Olympus was calm. The sky was clear, the air was peaceful, and nobody had been randomly smited in hours. It was beautiful. And then everything went wrong. Down in the sea, a sea goddess named Thetis found out what had happened. Unlike literally everyone else, who were either celebrating or making popcorn, she actually liked Zeus. Why? No one knows. Maybe she just had a soft spot for loud thunder dudes. So she decided to step in and called in a favor from Briareus. Now, Briareus wasn't just any old giant. He was the kind of guy you'd call if you needed to set up IKEA furniture in 1 minute or win an arm wrestling competition against an octopus. Why? Because he had 100 hands. Yes, 100 hands. That's 98 more than Zeus needed to be untied, and 100 reasons why no one else stood a chance. In the dead of night, while the other gods were busy high-fiving and imagining a future without surprise lightning strikes, Briareus tiptoed into Olympus like a giant ninja. With all 100 hands moving like a mythological blur, he untied Zeus faster than Hermes can steal your wallet. And just like that, Zeus was back. And this time, he brought the thunder. The next morning, Zeus stormed into the Olympus throne room, lightning bolts in hand. Hera, Poseidon, Athena, and Apollo immediately froze. Hera slowly put the celebratory ambrosia down. Poseidon, trying to act innocent. Apollo, suddenly very interested in his lyre. Athena, quickly acting like she was having a discussion with her owl. Zeus grabbed Hera first and chained her in the sky like an angry godly wind chime. Poseidon and Apollo, suspended. No storms, no music, nothing. Just like that, the party was over. Eventually, Hera apologized, very dramatically, with lots of eye-rolling, and Zeus let her down. But from that moment on, everyone knew. You mess with Zeus, you better make sure he stays tied up. Double knot, triple knot, and maybe slap some divine duct tape on there. Turns out 100 hands is exactly the number you need to ruin a perfect plan. And most importantly, Zeus is the absolute worst at handling criticism. Attempt one tiny little coup, and he chains his wife to the sky. Real mature. The god doesn't take feedback. He takes revenge. That's it for today's episode of Olympus Unhinged. Tune in next time for more mythical nonsense, epic meltdowns, and Zeus definitely not learning his lesson. Please like and subscribe if you want to hear more. Please leave a comment about which god or story you'd like to hear about next.